Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh, and it looks as though that Brigitte is definitely on the way as our next hero, Hero 27 in Overwatch. There have been 2 leaks today and this teaser from the Play Overwatch team, so I'm going to quickly run through them all. Number 1 teaser, well, this is a leak. Eagle-eyed Redditor Fogmoon saw that on the Japanese Play Overwatch Twitter in the early hours of last night European time, that this was shared and then removed. Now, it looks as though that the person in question, the name of that user there is actually someone who works for Blizzard over in Japan, Korea. Decided to try and drag an image into their scheduling software or into their Twitter client, but in actual fact ended up sharing the path of the actual file they had. And that is Brigitte T's number 3, Monday 26th of February at 11 PM PT. It's kind of the embargo date that it shouldn't be shared beyond. So there we go, a big oops. This was very soon deleted afterwards apparently. And next, someone else spotted. This was Tulio517. Obviously, the different Overwatch localized language blogs around the world shared the similar images. This is the Operation White Dome teaser we saw at the end of last week. If you right-click on a website in your browser on a desktop or whatever, you can have a look at View Selection Source, you can have a look at the code sitting behind that page, and all images have things called alt tags. These are for SEO reasons, these are for things like screen readers and things like that, so that you can make your image readable if it's not visible for someone who can actually see. Screen readers, for example, will read out the text of an image alt tag. Now, the image alt tag here, you can't see it in the bottom right, but it mentions Brigitte teaser as well as the localized language version. So that's 2 mentions of Brigitte in a day. The final thing we saw was this official teaser. Now, the Overwatch text on this said, last minute check, everyone squared away. Everyone ready to go. So I'm going to quickly run through what we can see on here. The top left, you can see cat mat. That's like, you know, like a cat mat. It's almost sort of complaining that this is being used as a place that the cat is walking on. And we can see our favourite feline friend in the top right there, the ginger-looking cat as well. Now, in the middle on the left, you can see this racket bar and what looks like to be a rocket with the same cat's tail. Now, I think that this is just a nice little reference to Racket Bat. That's probably Rocket Belt. It's a reference to none other than Jetpack Cat, named in an interview in the middle of last year. Jeff then, in the sort of history, the Overwatch Archives panel at BlizzCon 2017, shared this image in that BlizzCon panel. They talked a bit about how they'd had this idea of this hero. I think this is a nod back to that, which is quite fun. A couple of other details on this, which are kind of cool. We see the centerpiece here mainly. Now, obviously, this is the centerpiece that Ryan carries for his barrier shield, but there are some differences. We can notice, one, the size. This is apparently just over 1 meter high, and that's the entire shield when it's deployed. This sort of centerpiece of the shield is 30 by 20, and then you've kind of got 15 centimeters on either side. And that Swedish in the middle, morha, is whisker. It's kind of like a little joke saying these are the little whiskers deploying outside of this this line in the middle. Now, we've got the word compact, saying it's, you know, almost hinting at a bit of a compact version. And a cool thing that it actually just directly labels the material that this is made of as being tungsten carbide. Now, tungsten carbide is approximately, we saw references to titanium yesterday for the flail weapon. Tungsten carbide is, again, very, very strong. It's twice as strong as steel, double the density, and a really, really, really hard material. I think this stuff is actually used in armor-piercing rounds, so that gives you an idea of how hard this stuff is, how dense it is too. The interesting thing is, if you have a look in the top right of this image, you can see that this is a tower shield. This is not a big, wide barrier shield like Ryan's. It actually kind of reminded me, if you have a look in medieval shields, it's kind of like a riot shield as well, if you see like police or armed forces riot shields. This is a shield designed to give just protection to the individual, but protection to the vast majority of their body. This kind of tower shield, riot shield design. So if it's designed to a particular height, we can probably have an idea as to how its user is going to be using it, and also what height its user is. This kind of tower shield style. And it also gives them room to sort of wield a weapon as well. It's not quite as maneuverable as, say, the medieval kind of, you know, lighter shields, but obviously we're dealing in a futuristic era here. So, tower shields historically offered protection from like pretty large and slow projectiles, like large projectiles, as well as blows in melee range from fists or clubs. So, this shield is small, it's protecting its individual user. I think we're going to be seeing Brigitte as a kind of support tank or a support hero in some kind of sense. Maybe she can shield some individuals, but she can't be shielding lots of people like Reinhardt could be, for example. Going to be interesting to see how she's used, how this works along with her flail. There's one Blizzard hero that she really reminded me of, or this really reminded me of. This is Johanna from well, the Diablo universe, but she's in Heroes of the Storm, and you can see her directly using a flail and directly using a tower shield. So you can get an idea of sense of scale here from Johanna. Obviously, this is the Diablo kind of sort of medieval high fantasy type style. Very much a melee hero. We're not working in the near future here, but you can see how Johanna's shield is pretty much her height, covering most of her, and she's got a lighter set of armor behind her because she's using her big tower shield in her way. So, very, very interesting. As for how Brigitte's rocket-powered flail will work, as for how this tower shield will work, it looks as though that she can carry it and then deploy it. It's a centerpiece for it. Let's see if it's one solid piece or whether, like Rein's, it pops up. It kind of deploys outwards, and she can kind of have a few different modes. She might have a shield mode, she might have an attacking mode, and then we've got this deploying of the flail that we saw yesterday, where it can actually pop out, and we can, you know, see her use her weapon in two different ways. So going to be really interesting to see how Brigitte works out. I would love to hear your thoughts as to how you think Brigitte's going to play. Are you looking forward to it? She's pretty much confirmed now, right? And I will be doing her lore as soon as we have more news on it in the coming days, so keep an eye out for that lore video, as well as longer lore videos that I've got planned as well. So if you're a sub or viewer to the channel, thank you very much for your support. If you're new here, do throw a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to be really pushing the boat out in March with a bunch of videos. If you're a regular on the channel, thank you for your patience over the last month and a half or so. We're going to be right back to the longer lore content you like. I'm also going to be trying some new things on the weekends. I would like your opinions on those. Weekdays are going to be Overwatch content and lots of the longer lore stuff. The odd weekend in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be trying something new. So please don't unsub. Do give it a go. Do let me know what you think. At the end of that time, I'll decide whether I make an extra new channel or whether I keep all of the content on here. I would love to hear your thoughts on that too. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Can't wait to see more Brigitte. Keep an eye out for videos on her in the coming days. Take it easy.